All right. What is up?
Hey,
How are you doing?
cheers to us, buddy. We haven't been on a show
Cheers.
in a while.
No, you can't see my beer in the green screen.
Should
That's
we-
nice.
Should we see if we can do a magical cheers here? 1, 2, 3, go. And
Clink.
cheer. Okay, well, it sort of worked. I like it. I'll make the
All
clink
right.
sound on this side.
What are you having?
I am having a Carlson Orchards hard cider Oak Hill blend. I've never heard of it. I bought it today when I ran out of the office and went like a screaming idiot to the fastest liquor store I could find, because it has been a week, my friends.
It's Miller time.
And
Nice. Well, guess what? I'm drinking a Gaelic ale from Asheville's first brewery, established in 1994, which was a good year, from Highland Brewing. All right.
1994. Wow.
What were you doing in 1994? Think about it.
What was I doing in 94? Well, I was at Bridgewater State.
Yep.
I was probably not going to class as much as I should. Living in Shea Durgan, in the Shea Durgan dorms at Bridgewater State College, which is now Bridgewater State University. And I was studying early childhood education, but I later switched to communications and, got me into marketing. So
Here we are. All right, cool. Well, let's get into our show, folks.
Go Bears.
Look, it's good to be back. I want to talk about so many things, so we're going to go like rapid fire at the whole show. I think we've got like
so much more room for
over a
activities.
dozen topics that are mostly sourced from this week because the internet moves fast, folks. First of all, I just wanted to get
fast.
some. I have this problem,
I like
Graham,
to
that I
move
wanted to talk
fast.
to you about. I have this problem.
Oh,
I generally have a
I'll
problem
be very serious now.
with fashion in general. But
Yes, you do.
I want to talk to you about Crocs. Now, I have had the same
Ryan.
pair of Crocs since I moved into this house, which is going on 17 years ago.
They must be so gross. Go on.
I've worn them out to the point where there's a hole in the bottom, and when I go to walk the dog, water gets in, which is it's about time to retire those
awful.
Crocs.
Okay.
But I saw this shared by one of our buddies
Adam,
on,
right?
on Twitter.
Adam Singer.
Adam shared this on Twitter this week, and I'm looking at it going, man, is this what the cool kids are doing now? Crocs with wheelies? Is that a thing? I don't know.
I don't know.
No.
I have a love-hate relationship with Crocs because, like, I understand their comfort and easeability or whatever you want to call it of them, but like when I volunteer at camp for a week or two every summer, and I've got 10 7-year-old boys wearing Crocs, these things smell so bad that they have to be disinfected by fire. So
yep.
I don't know.
I hear you.
But if they have wheels, maybe that's cool. I mean, I guess so. So I guess here's my parting thought on Crocs with wheels. Ryan, if you get a set of Crocs with wheels,
yep,
and
I
you
might be a
wear them,
trendsetter,
and you wear them when you are walking the dog,
yep,
dogs, would you please make sure somebody either photographs that or films that, because I'm willing to bet you'll fall flat on your ass, and that's a YouTube moment, baby.
Well, it might be even a TikTok moment. Remember the guy that like blew up for like
could be for singing
he was drinking
cranberry juice, dude.
Yeah, cranberry juice, dude. All right. Speaking of wheels, I got something else for you.
Oh,
I don't know if you've seen this.
Oh my God, look at that!
Now this is a guy with his new
Why
fancy
so serious?
The Batman suit, but he's driving a mini Batmobile from 1989. I'm in love with it, man.
I have to give this a strong thumbs up. So
very
I would be more impressed if it shot flames out the back, but I just love the fact that they went with the Keaton Batman from, of course, the greatest Batman movie.
Oh yeah.
Which was 1985. The sequel was 89. But boy, what a great film, and what a great Batmobile. Built, my understanding, is on a Chevrolet Impala station wagon.
With a Corvette engine, though. Yeah.
Chassis everybody says it has a Corvette engine. I don't know if that was ever true, but I think this is cool. I would drive this around if I would fit into it. Would I wear a Batman costume? The answer is yes.
At least a Batman hoodie. This car is for sale, by the way. So you can check out not only the props, but the car and who made the suit. and everything by going and checking out. He's got a lot of videos
This is
that
an
are
interesting
really
blend.
neat. On
He's
the
got the
Instagram.
Batman costume, but he's got the Batman '89 Batmobile, and I like that.
Dark Knight Begins. So check
Yeah,
him out.
it's like the circle of life, like Mufasa said to Simba, and like he's just connecting it all there, and I like it. I like it.
I love it.
I like
Speaking of wheels, did you see
Whoa!
this? Did you see this?
Hello, gorgeous.
And
Wow.
I don't know if anybody sort of sees the inspiration here or can tell, but this is not plastic, folks.
That is beautiful.
This is stainless steel, and that means this is maybe a DeLorean, a new DeLorean. Our buddy Theo Priestley tweeted this out this week with is DeLorean making an EV. I would call this a supercar, not even a sports car. This looks badass.
It looks badass, dude. That is really cool, and I love how it's clearly modeled on the original, DMC one. And it just looks super cool.
Yes.
We don't even have to make flux capacitor jokes because this thing is already awesome.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if it was socially acceptable, I would make out with that car. It's that cool.
Well, we'll see. It might have some new features, newfangled features, because it's going to be hands free. So use your imagination. Use your imagination.
Okay,
folks. Next topic we want to talk about is the fact that there's Raspberry Pis running experiments on the space station as we speak.
Really?
Yes. So the ESA,
a bunch of tourists up there.
Yeah, ESA shipped some specially outfitted Raspberry Pis they calling the Astro Pis. And the cool thing is they asked students and people all over the world to submit their own programs or their own experiments to be run. And they're going to run nearly 300 of those teams were sort of selected to run their experiments on the space station.
Really I love that.
I love it. STEM, baby.
Space plus, yeah, that's just I love that.
I love it. All right, so Graeme,
I did want to ask you: has Elon made an offer to buy the space station yet?
No, but I think that's the next step, because I feel like the Twitter command center should definitely be in outer space.
It should be. Let's send him up there. He can stay up there forever. Thanks.
We'll see. I want to talk about TV a little bit. There's several TV subjects to talk about this week.
Several.
But here's a question before we get into them. I was struggling with how to craft the promo this week, because I feel like, and we've talked about this, do we call these things TV shows anymore?
I don't know. I just usually use series. Sometimes
it's like
TV shows.
Things are being streamed. You're watching it on your phone. I don't know what to call this stuff anymore. But anyhow, I want to talk about this one. There's a new Resident Evil live action series coming to Netflix in like a month. And it's going to be a radically different departure from the films and the games and everything. But you'll recognize some of these faces.
Oh, is that Lance? The guy that was in Bosch?
Yes, sir.
He's awesome. I don't know who that woman that's sitting is, but those shoes look really uncomfortable. But this looks really
right.
cool.
It doesn't look that. So here was going to be my comment.
Painful.
This looks high concept. Even the environment they're in is not like degraded or apocalypse.
It's not some
kind of
shitty old house
vibe. And so my question is, are they going to be successful from getting away from the zombie horde in those outfits with those shoes? I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. And the hair and makeup will stay consistent the whole time. I will check this out. I'm a big fan of the original game. I'm still haunted a little bit by the piano music. And so this will be cool. And I know you're a huge fan of the whole series. So this will be really cool. Interesting.
Yeah. All right. So this is our first thought of the day. We do a lot of these where honestly, it's just Graeme.
It's me.
Late at night gets on Twitter and starts inventing new series, if you will. So
I'm usually sitting by myself on the couch in front of the television, really bored, overly tired.
Before you get into this, did you ever read Rom the Space Knight back in the day?
Did I ever read Rom? Are you kidding me? I have Rom in my collection here.
All right. Rom. I just had to check because I wasn't the biggest fan, but I was very curious because this was a different kind of character in Marvel, in the Marvel lore. And, he never reached the heights of the Avengers or whoever, but I thought it was really interesting, the sort of approach to it. So tell us what you would do in a series.
Yeah, well, so I've been kind of going through this process lately of trying to collect. I am a nostalgia addict. So if I can find something that I had, when I was a kid, or teenager, like I'm all about it. Like earlier today, I purchased a Radio Shack remote control car, believe it or not, that I had when I was a kid because I desperately wanted again. Anyway, um, so the other night I was thinking about ROM, and I had recently purchased some back issues of ROM when I was at a comic book store here in Massachusetts. And you're right, this never really got the hype. The toys were kind of a joke, although now they're kind of cult collectibles. And the comic book was a little strange, but I liked the concept that I liked the whole concept. So my thought was, just the term Space Knight is such a cool term, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
imagine if Marvel Studios did a series based on Space Knight, and we see the whole journey where he goes from human, he becomes Rom the cyborg, he's fighting the Dire Wraiths from his home planet Galador, comes to Earth, and at one point actually gets turned back into a human. But the thing is he was never 100% robot. There was always pieces of the human in there, and they called them remnants. And so I thought that could be a really cool title for it,
Yeah.
remnants. And I also thought we could give it a bit of an Arthurian legend. The gun that he has, I forget what it is, but it sends people to
That's what I
another
like
dimension.
about this. I like that twist.
Sends people to another dimension, right? Have that be kind of like an Excalibur. And so I thought there could be a way, maybe he even travels through time a little bit. But I really thought having this kind of Rom meets kind of King Arthur feel to it could be really cool. So this is one of my latest pitches, is Remnants. So Marvel Studios, call me. I mean, they usually call me because when they need something awesome, who else would they call?
Right.
So on our next conference call, or Zoom, as the kids call it nowadays, Marvel Studios, we're going to discuss ROM Space Knight.
I'm already thinking through season 5 of this concept, and I think it has crossover potential. Do you remember back in the comic books when like
It
Transformers
does.
would cross over with GI Joe, or mutants or X-Men would
Yes, I
cross
love
over with
those.
the
I love
Avengers?
those.
Now,
Yes.
stay with me. Rom the Space Knight can cross over with the Silverhawks, kind of the alternative version of the Lion-O and the the Thundercats. There was this show called the Silver Knights, and it was like hawks that were robots that were really
I like it.
like Rom.
Hawkbots.
They were like a mix. Yeah, there you go. So
Hawkbots.
let's make
Or
it
what
happen,
about, what
folks.
if Rom had to fight Ultron?
Ooh. Okay. Okay. So another question of humanity. What's the
I like it.
definition, folks? I
I
like
like it.
that. All right. So speaking of comic books, we've got our first sort of poll/prompt of the week here. So you put up this old ad that everybody would recognize this if you're reading comic books from the 80s.
Yep.
They would always have listings for different shops, and it would list, sort of the going price on hot comics or comics from different series. And your question is quite simply, what are you ordering?
Yeah. So when you look at these, I mean, there were so many of these ads. Remember, there was also like the novelty items one with the X-ray glasses and all that. But
Oh
there
yeah.
was some really cool stuff here. And there were a couple of times where I actually did do this. In fact, you see where it says Adventurers? I
Hmm.
literally just got episodes 6, 7, and 8 that I had when I was younger. They just came in this week. They're in like new condition. They're first print. They're beautiful. So Alpha Flight, I love, obviously, because of Guardian. I mean, hello,
Yep.
Canadian superheroes. Does it get any better?
Yep.
Obviously not.
Teenage
But
Mutant
there's
Ninja Turtles.
Teenage
Must have.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Good
Yeah,
lord, that must have
yeah.
been before it blew up. Look at those prices, $3.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine having a first edition of episode 6? Look at that, a first print, episode 6 and 7, 350. You kidding me? But
Yeah.
one of the things that I did take advantage of when I was a kid, if you keep scrolling down, is the grab bag.
Oh yeah.
So I actually did that once, and
Did it pay off? Did you get
it
something?
it
Did you get like
did.
a
It was,
surprise?
yeah, it was not just like a bag full of shit. It was actually good stuff.
Interesting.
So I remember these ads, and I just really love these ads. So every once in a while, I love to post nostalgia stuff on my Twitter, and people love to see it. I mean, Twitter in many ways has become this nostalgia engine for Gen Xers, and man, I love sharing, and I love how it generates memories from people. So it's a lot of fun. But man, I love comics.
Well, this was
I love
before the
comics.
days of like really like having such an official system of grading comics as well. So I don't know about you, but I used to always debate with my friends down the street about like was was the book that I got or was it mint or near mint or was it really
Yeah,
that good?
yeah,
Because we were negotiating to like barter trades. We weren't even usually dealing with money. It was like I'll give you these 6 GI Joes if you'll give me these 2 Transformers and all that kind of stuff.
yeah. Absolutely, man. Those were good times. Those were
Good
good days.
times. All right, let's talk about some more TV now.
Okay.
Tokyo Vice is a new series on HBO Max
It's
that is
so
really
good.
it's on my radar, but I haven't started it yet, but I know you have. So what can
No,
you
dude,
tell us?
I want, like, no,
I
you
need
got
to
to
try I just need to stop the show and go
clear
start watching
everything
it.
off your radar and
Okay.
go and watch Tokyo Vice. Now, look, I know that one of the lead actors has some tricky shit in his recent past. I'm not going to
I
address
don't know
that,
about that. I don't know about that.
but I do, and it's worth noting that we are aware of that. How, and so I want to put that aside for a second, not to
Okay.
diminish it, because I just want to put it aside because it's really what people talk about when they talk about him. He was also in Baby Driver and most recently West Side Story.
Yep.
Anyway, that aside, going to put that aside for a second, not to diminish. This show is absolutely incredible. It's beautifully shot. The story is fantastic. The first episode is actually directed by Michael Mann, who a lot of you would remember
Whoa.
not only from movies but from our generation, Miami Vice, right? And
Of
so
course.
it's a really good crime drama. It's also a really good journalism drama. So if you have not seen Tokyo Vice on HBO Max, I want to really highly recommend this one. There's 5 or 6 episodes out now, I think. I just finished episode 4 the other night. I think I got episode 5 in the queue. Uh, Absolutely outstanding program. Highly, highly, highly recommended.
I liked
Highly
you
recommended.
were showing off a Datsun from that time period
Yes. No,
on
it's a
on your
Nissan, a
Twitter.
Nissan Z. I thought it was a Datsun as well, but it's actually a Nissan Z that
Really
one of the police officers in the show drives, and it's gorgeous.
interesting.
And
Well,
so,
you
yeah.
know, all right, I got a pop quiz to spring on you here. What's your favorite Michael Mann? I know Miami Vice is a big deal, but what's your favorite Michael Mann film after he went on to do Stuff in the Sun?
Oh, didn't he do? Didn't he do Heat?
Don't take mine. Don't take mine. Yes, that's Heat.
Yes.
Heat's probably
Yeah, I
number
would.
one.
I'd go
Well,
with Heat.
Heat's the standout for me.
I
But
I
he's done
googled it to check that I was right, but
he's
yeah, I would go with
done
Heat.
a lot of good work. But Heat is what I'm going with, and I'm sticking with it, folks.
Okay, well, hey, cool. We
Simpatico.
both
All
digging
right,
Heat.
ladies and gentlemen, this is a show so chock full of awesome that we're going to give you for free another show idea.
Does it
Take it
get
away,
better than this,
Graeme.
folks? The answer is no, it does not get better than this. This is the best part of your whole week, maybe your whole month. If that's the case, I'm sorry. But anyway, this is another limited series idea I had. So I absolutely loved Chernobyl on HBO Max.
Excellent.
It's one of the best limited series I've seen maybe ever. And it wasn't just because Chernobyl was such a big deal when we were younger. It's because it was incredibly well done. And so I had this idea, and it was written by a guy named Craig Mazin. If you don't follow Craig, CL Mazin on Twitter, by all means, make sure you do that. He's a fantastic follow. Actually left Twitter for a little while and came back, and we're very lucky to have him back. But what I thought would be cool here would be a show that's a little bit of revisionist history. So let's show Y2K hype as if it actually happened. So
Yes.
imagine at midnight on the year
I like it.
2000, all of the systems around the world, all the control systems, everything crashed all at once. And we had this like dystopian fallout from that. So I think Craig could write it because of the way he did Chernobyl. I also like the way Chernobyl was shot. It was very dim and dismal and very, very disturbing. So that was my idea is imagine we see that critical systems crash, that global blackout, and the fallout from that, what would happen afterwards. And if you remove your mouse for a minute there from
Yeah,
Craig's
yeah.
name, I think I had a possible title in there. Oh yeah. Call it
Midnight. I like it.
Midnight.
So here's my question, Graeme.
That'd be a good
I love
show.
this. I love this because everyone, like when this was happening, I don't know about you, everyone was on pins and needles, sort of wondering, is this gonna happen? What's gonna like? There was a lot of like hype and
Yeah,
hyperbole
dude.
in the media. There was lots of people that were
But there
doom
was
and
also a lot of
gloom.
people who worked hard to fix it
Oh
to make
no,
sure that
and that's
didn't
what I'm
happen.
getting at. That's what I'm getting at. It turned out to a huge nothing burger, as it was called back in the day. Um, and we just went on about life because there was a lot of people who I think got paid a lot of money to go fix COBOL code and sort of patch, and translate and map the dates so that things did not really go down for the most part.
Yeah.
But do you see this playing out sort of like a Station 11 style, like
I do.
it
I
ends
do.
the world?
I
Okay.
do. So think about it like Chernobyl meets Station 11, right? And so that's what I see. Now, for me, when this actually happened, I was in a bar partying in Montreal, in Quebec, and literally at the stroke of midnight, all of the point of sale systems in the bar crashed. So
Oh,
I
okay.
actually walked outside thinking, this is it. Here we go.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I actually walked outside the bar. I had my drink with me. And I remember I stood in the middle of the street waiting for like the city of Montreal to go dark and like the end of the world to start. And within 2 minutes, I was like, I need another drink. So I just went back inside and nothing happened, of
So was it
course,
just open
but they
bar
were
at
on
that
paper.
point? Like no
No, they
tabs
were
or
doing
what?
it
Oh,
all
okay.
on paper. It was really
There you
funny.
go.
But I actually did see a point of sale system crash that night. And when I say crash, I mean cease to function, not just like, oh, the dates got weird. It actually like went down. So my initial thought was, holy shit, here we go. But of course, it didn't happen. Anyway, this could be a really, really cool show.
I like it. I like it. All right. So I don't know if you're hyped about this. I'm hyped about
Are
this.
you kidding me? Of
That
course
was
I am.
kind of a silly question. I realize now. So apparently there's an alternate reality on just to catch everyone up. There's sort of an alternate history timeline that's taking place in this show called For All Mankind that's focused on the astronaut program from with America, with Russia, with some other powers. And it's what if we just kept going with the Apollo program and programs after that to do all kinds of amazing things on the moon. And now, season 3, we're going to the red planet, it looks like.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting in here is note the words superpowers.
Right. Right.
So did
Right.
we combine forces to go together, which is what my theory is. So
Yeah.
that could be very interesting.
That's a
So
good point.
super excited about For All Mankind season 3. And this is another one of those shows, people, like if you have not seen season 1 and 2, what are you doing? What
What are you
kind of
doing?
life choices are you
What are you
making?
doing? What are
What
you
the
doing,
hell is
folks?
wrong with you? Like
So, question: Do you think this is?
be my friend if you haven't seen For All
Do you
Mankind.
think? So, are you getting like 2010 vibes? Because I know you watched 2010 recently
I
and
did. I
enjoyed
loved
it.
it. I did.
So we'll see. Here's the interesting point, I guess, with current events in our real world here is that in this show, Russia, Russia and international, what was it? First space flight day was like last week or something.
Yeah, Yuri Gagarin's
To
day.
to commemorate Yuri Gagarin going up and being the first human to reach outer space. Now this takes that premise and says that Russia
Earth
keeps
orbit, but
going
yes.
Earth's orbit. It takes that premise that Russia just keeps one-upping us over and over, and then we have this space race to the moon. So interesting stuff. I love it.
Russia, China, and then the USA. Sorry.
All right, Graeme. We didn't do a good job like ordering our topics this week, but that's okay, folks. Bear with us. I want to show off some beautiful comic book art that you shared on Twitter.
Ooh, that sucker's right behind me. So I am really proud of my very small but very important comic book collection, especially when it is firmly rooted in nostalgia.
Mhm.
And so I actually am proud to own, it was gifted to me, by the way, by a former
Nice.
manager, which was really amazing because I did a
That is
good work
amazing.
at a show in Vegas years ago. Anyway, I have Transformers #1, and I have it in a case. I do not expose it to any sunlight. Like it looks just like this. It's bright and colorful. It's beautiful. It's got that weird Optimus on the front, like he's wearing a pair of underwears, which is bizarre. But
Yeah.
I am really proud. So it made me wonder, like,
I love this.
what's a comic book that you have in your collection that makes you feel like a legitimate collector. Like the fact that I have the Transformers #1 makes me feel like, hey, I kind of got my act together here on comics and I've got some good stuff. So Ryan, and to anybody weeksenders who may be watching, tweet at us, send us in a comment, let us know, what is a comic book that you have that makes you feel like a legitimate collector? I'd love to know.
Or had.
Ryan?
You may not still have
Or
your hands on it, but yeah.
or
What
had.
got you started?
I will
I
accept
think
had.
I like this question because it's not necessarily like the first comic book. It's more like, when did you feel like a collector? So I think I gotta go look. I feel like I have this book, but I didn't recognize sort of what it was, or like you said, I didn't recognize it as that moment of, this is going to be a collector's item. I just wanted to read every single Transformers book I could get my hands on. So I'm the opposite of you. I probably have this jammed in a box, in a bag, maybe a bag and board, but who knows what condition it's in. I need to go look.
Dude, you got to find it.
So yeah,
Even if it is in terrible condition, it's just cool that you have it. Then we can be Transformers #1 buddies.
that's true. That's true. So I'm going to give you my answer there. My answer, when I officially thought that I was going to be, or that I was a collector of comic books, was actually with when Todd McFarlane did his Spider-Man run, and they kind of created that new book. I felt like that was a moment, even though I wasn't even the biggest Spider-Man fan. It was really great artwork. They made all these really cool covers. That was at the time when like the Image guys were like coming back to DC and Marvel and kind of, treated as celebrities, if you will. And so that's got to be the moment for me.
That is a good moment. That is a hey Ryan, you're a legitimate collector moment.
Yes, sir. All right, so let us know, folks. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
What is your
what do you guys have?
What is your collector moment?
Yes.
All right, we've got a couple of more stories. So I think I told you this, but I canceled Paramount Plus. And so I've not seen Picard season 2, which everyone's telling me is good stuff. I've not seen Discovery season 4. I've not seen Below Decks. I think season 2.
You should see Lower Decks season 2.
Lower Decks
season 2, and I will watch Strange New Worlds. That much I can tell you. Yeah, well, there you go.
Well, sometimes we show off fan art. I loved this piece. And so it just inspired me to throw this up and share it for a couple of reasons. I think this show is exciting enough that I do want to get Paramount Plus again and watch the Strange New Worlds. How about you?
So I agree. Same thing. I don't have it right now, but I'll turn it back on for that. And I'll check out season 2 of Picard because I am just a huge believer in Q. I believe in Q. I love Q. So not that stupid political theory.
Oh, you don't have like the hat and the T-shirt. I believe in Q. Okay.
No. I'm talking about the character.
Well, for this fan art, I don't know if you've seen this, but the actress that plays the Borg Queen, she's having a lot of fun behind the scenes as well. So on her Twitter, on her Instagram, like every week, she's like sharing,
honestly, they all are having a lot of fun. Like it's great. And I think her name's Annie, and she, interestingly enough, I mentioned the show earlier. She played a police officer in Bosch. She's a great actress, and she's having a lot of fun. Really embracing the love and inclusion and energy of the Star Trek sort of community, and it's really great to see. It's really, really great.
Well, I love this art too, so I just want to say that. And folks, I think we got, you know what? It's an embarrassment of riches, folks.
We got more.
This week only, to close out the show, we've got one more.
Oh,
this series idea.
So good.
I saw this. So this is not your idea.
No,
but I wanted to riff on this with you and see sort of what you thought of it, and I want to give my take too.
So I think this is brilliant. Like this is really clever. So person says, I want to see a comic book, or a series, I suppose, about the CIA trying to murder Clark Kent and making it look like an accident. Not because they know he's Superman, but because he's a good journalist and maybe he's exposing secrets. But make it a comedy. It doesn't have to be a comedy, but the whole notion is they can't figure out why their attempts to kill him keep failing because they don't know he's Superman. So I just love this. Yes, it could be kind of a bumbling, you know, Keystone Keepers kind of, you know, or Keystone Cops, whatever the term is, kind of, you know, comedy. But actually, I think it could actually be also be a legitimate series and could be really, really interesting where we really dial in on his journalist side, and they're trying to kill him.
Yeah.
And I thought this was brilliant. I love
like
when
it.
people think of stuff like this.
I like it because the ridiculous nature of just the Clark Kent alias in general, just in all mediums, is kind of like everybody's like, you know, Superman is a beloved figure. Yes.
Yeah.
However, the whole Clark Kent persona just seems like a gag anyway. So I love that this could like kind of take it in a serious direction and make it fun, but also with a nod and a wink. So I love it.
I love it. I love it.
Love it, love it, love it. All right, we're going to close out the show, folks, with one more preview that we're both excited about, and that is for Stranger Things 4, which is actually there's been plenty of teasers, but it's coming out really soon. It's coming out in about 6 weeks from now. And I just want to know, Graeme, what are you hoping to get from the 4th season of this just excellent series?
Man, I don't know. It really seems like they dialed in on the horror movie kind of feel of it, like it's been getting more and sort of I mean, the first season was pretty scary, man. And so I have no idea what to expect, and I love that, right? Like when you watch it, I mean, you've got Hopper in Russia, and you've got Eleven saying she doesn't have her powers anymore, and they don't look like kids now, and they've got these goofy haircuts, and they've dialed in on the 80s. I mean, it's the whole thing just looks wild. And then there's this weird spider horror character kind of person talking at the end. So, dude, I don't understand the clock aspect. Like, I'm curious if
I don't know any of this.
If Matthew Modine's character comes back, and so they clearly they use de-aging at one point. There's a different 11 in there. So I'm really excited about this, and it looks awesome.
Well, you know what? I'm excited too, but guess what? I don't know any of this because I've been purposely not watching the previews, just like I do with certain films that I know are in a franchise. I am going in blind because I want to be blown away, because guess what? I watched season 3 and there was so much hype for season 3 and so many previews and so much merchandising around like the sailor outfits,
merchandising,
the ice cream store, like all the stuff they did with it. It took something away from it for me. So I want to go in blind and be blown away.
Do you remember when we were going to Kennedy Space Center and we stopped at that place and I was trying to get you to take my picture in the ice cream thing from Stranger Things, but you were just like, dude, no. I don't want to do this right now.
And trust me, you would have regretted.
You were so pissed at me.
You would have regretted that photo to this day. It would not have held up well. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
That's fair.
All right, folks, that's our show. That's week's in show number 76. Now,
baby.
I want to talk about the elephant in the room, which is we've only produced like 4 or 5 shows this entire calendar year so far. And Graeme, I want a renewed commitment that we're going to bring it back weekly, baby. What do you think?
I'm not only committed. I don't know if you can hear my dogs are barking. They seem to be committed too. You've got a lot of commitment here. So, dude, I'm in. We're gonna have a good run.
Yeah, folks. All right. So if you like what you see, drop us a line. You want to come on the show and nerd out with us? Drop us a line. You got answers to the polls and the questions and the blah blah blah. Drop us a line. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, please do. We would love to. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Peace out.
Peace.